Hi, and welcome to the Practical Engineering Solutions channel. In this video, we're going to talk about freezing motion using light. There's several different tools and applications you can use to do this. We're going to look at some stroboscopes, some tachometers, and using the smartphone as another tool. In most cases, subdued light for a strobe is what is desired. In a smartphone application, the more light the better. So we're going to look at several tools, and we're going to look at the characteristics of each one and see which ones better fit your needs. In some cases you just need to know rotational speed of a motor or a device, and you can use a tachometer. Other times you want to freeze motion and make sure how the unit or the motor or the engine is actually operating. So we're going to look at those, and then we're going to talk about the costs, the pros and the cons of each tool. Okay, let's get started. Okay, the first tool we're going to use is this. This is a stroboscope. It's a pretty old one. Bought it at Radio Shack many years ago. And it has a xenon flash tube. You can see in here. This is the same kind of flash tube they used to use in old style cameras. And it flickers at a certain rate. This particular one has a knob on the back to adjust the flash rate from slow to fast. And unfortunately, because it's not an expensive unit, it's not calibrated. So I measured it with an oscilloscope, and this goes from about 2 or 3 hertz or flashes per second to about 50 flashes per second. So what's that? That's about 120 flashes a minute to about 3,000 or so flashes per minute, or 3,000 RPM. So the only thing I did here is I took this fan and I put a red piece of tape on one of the blades. So we're going to turn this on and we're going to try it, see how it works. This has got 3 speeds, so we're going to go to the lowest speed first, if you can see that. And now I'm going to turn on the strobe, and they recommend you start at the fastest flash rate first, and then slow it down, slow up the flash rate until the fan blades appear to stop. And one of the reasons I put the tape on there is to be able to tell more easily when the fan stops, or looks like it's stopping. And it's right about there, I think, where you can see that the red tape is kind of stopped. Now it's moving around a little bit. It's not perfectly still, and that could be because the motor is not rotating exactly the same speed and it's fluttering, or it could be this cheap stroboscope that's not exactly steady either. But it's kind of close. So the advantage of this kind of strobe is it's cheap. It's pretty bright with the xenon tube. The disadvantages are it's not calibrated, so you have to calibrate it yourself. And also it's got a xenon tube, which has a limited lifetime because it's a flash tube. It's like a tube. Okay, now we're going to try the same experiment with a tachometer. Now the only difference with this is I put a piece of reflective tape right here, I don't know if you can see that, on this blade. And most of these tachometers need a reflective piece of tape. It comes with the tachometer. And I'll put in the notes, in the description, the model numbers of these. So I'm going to turn this on again. I try to get a reading with the tachometer. The tachometer has a laser that shoots out, and you can see it there, hopefully. And it's hitting it's actually hitting the reflective tape. And I'm getting a number of about 1007 RPM based on that. Now the advantage of this is it has a laser that comes out, and it is much more accurate, it's more stable. The disadvantage is that you need to put reflective tape in most cases on what you're using, what you're trying to stop the motion of. And I'm going to use this on my tractor. The reason I got into this is that I did a retune on my tractor, replaced the carburetor, and then it said you need to adjust the idle speed to 3,600 RPM and so on, and I had no way of measuring that. So that's the second tool, a little handheld tachometer. Now we're going to use a DTE-10S. This is a combination strobe and tachometer. And I got the one with as many LEDs as I could. There's some that only have 3 LEDs. I didn't think that would be bright enough. So I'm going to turn this on. And we're going to try it. And this should both stop the motion and it should give us a tachometer reading. So, again, we're going to be looking for the red stripe. The nice thing about this is it's a very finely tuned device. Now, there you go. Now you can see I can adjust that to almost complete stop. So this tells me that it was the stroboscope I had before that wasn't that great. And this one's much more stable. And you can see, hope you can see the red tape just standing still. And this gives me a reading of 1043. And this has several ranges, so you can go fast, you can go slow, you can adjust it with this adjustment knob, and it's very fine. It can be a very fine adjustment. There you go. There, I can pretty much just about stop it. And now you can see if there's any wobbling or any kind of issues with the blades. So, what are these good for? Well, first of all, I would recommend this guy here, the DTE-10S. I would recommend that one, and it is really good at stopping motion. What can you use it for? Well, like I said, my tractor I could use it for. If you have a ceiling fan, you have to balance those a lot of times if they wobble or make noise. So it would be good for something like that. You can see something in motion that's stopped. You can also use it on your tools, such as a bench grinder or a polisher, to see if there's any run out in a table saw. So it has a lot of applications. So this is using a smartphone to freeze motion. And I'll list the application that's in the App Store down below in the description. This has some good features. It's a free app, but it has additional features if you want to pay for them, and it's $3. So I bought the enhanced version. And you can see here it has resolution of like 1 RPM. And it's very stable. This one's showing about 1026 RPM. And it has a record feature up here. And the light is not flashing. What I believe it's using is the frame of the camera, the frame rate of the camera. The camera lens is opening and closing at a certain rate, adjustable by this app. And it has a lot of other features too. So for a lot of applications, this might be just what you need. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And please like and subscribe and leave me any comments you might have. See you in the next video.